Oh,
Hi, I just had a question I was wondering if someone could help me with.
okay.
Do you have a minute?
1 second.
hmm
Okay.
I met Jehovah's Witnesses lately. I mean, I have a couple friends who are also Jehovah's Witnesses, but anyways, they told me about the website, JW.org, and
JW.org, yes.
yeah, so I've been reading some of the stuff in there, and they have these like videos where their leaders are talking to teach or talk about the organization, and they said on there that they're imperfect and not inspired. Did you see that one?
I don't believe so right now. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. It was a
Who?
while ago.
Okay. It was a video that said what? I
Well,
didn't
the
hear you.
the
The reading's
governing
going on here.
body, I guess that's what they're
Oh,
called, are imperfect and not
yes. We're all
inspired.
imperfect.
Oh,
There's only one
right,
perfect.
right. Well,
Right. So
um
we're all imperfect. Yes.
yeah, but the thing is that the the people I know, like the way they
Okay.
talk about them and the way they regard them is as
Uh
though
huh.
they're inspired, almost like
Well.
they're a channel of God or something like that, which would mean you'd have to be inspired.
Uh huh. Well, they
Why
are
do
a channel.
why do you all treat them like that?
Why do we?
They're treated very differently than like just say a Sunday school teacher or a pastor. They don't insist on that degree of like trust, and I don't know, like they could change something one day and then everybody will suddenly believe the new thing. I'm amazed by that. So the
Mm-hmm.
level of their whoever they are is extremely high. And then to say we're just imperfect and not inspired. Like it's very confusing. It's like kind of like it doesn't really make
Mm-hmm.
sense to me. And then I found this quote that the Watchtower said in their magazine that says
Okay.
you may wisely decide against putting your trust in imperfect men and their
Uh huh.
fallible predictions and promises, which is kind of an ironic thing for it to say in the Watchtower. Um,
The fact is that they are imperfect, but
yeah.
they do have Holy Spirit, and
Well,
it's
because
through
they
them
say
that
they
we.
do, I guess. I don't know what. I mean, anybody could say that. That's not.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
saying that. And here it says in the Watchtower, don't put your trust in imperfect men. And yet on the that little program, they're saying
Well,
that Jehovah
well,
trusts
normally,
them, and you should too.
right?
So
We put
how does that all
we
fit together?
we we also put our trust in the Bible the way it presented to us in that, and they're just a channel
A
from Jehovah
channel?
God. Yeah, like Jehovah God.
Wow.
You don't. Do you think that's strange?
Well, channeling is kind of an occultic term. I've never heard a Christian say channel.
A channel. Well, I should
Like
say
channeling. Wow. Do they
no,
channel?
no.
What do they
I'm
channel?
not. I didn't mean. I mean, they don't interpret anything. They
They
read the
don't?
Bible scriptures. They read the Bible
Wait
and
a
then they
minute.
talk them. Hmm.
If I had a piece of paper with just Bible verses, that would be something that doesn't interpret anything. Of course they interpret the Bible. They say they do.
Hmm.
Why are you saying they
So
don't interpret anything? As a matter of fact, they've changed many of their interpretations.
okay, they've changed them because they
Uh-huh.
become they've examined it more and more and more and more in deeper things, and they've changed their view on things. Yes,
Oh, but they
that's not
said
their
it's from Jehovah. They call it meat in due season from Jehovah. And
hmm.
at that time, that's what they also said. They didn't say, well, this is just contingent,
Well,
you
one
know.
sec, I gotta let somebody in the door. Excuse me, one
Oh,
second. I
okay,
let somebody
okay.
in the door. Yeah.
Hello?
Hi. Are you back?
I'm the brother that answered the phone was our attendant, and he was
Oh.
watching the parking lot and so on. So he asked me to come back and chat with you a bit.
Oh,
My name is
okay.
Steve.
Hi, I'm Christine. Yeah, I was
Hi.
just wondering, well, I guess I have to start all over again, but I know some witnesses and I heard about the website and things like that, and so I watched a few of those videos
Oh,
where
good.
those guys talk. I guess it's your leaders or whatever. He said they're channels, so I mean, I thought that was an interesting term anyways, but I never heard Christians
Channels.
really use the term channeling, channel of God.
Oh, we don't. There's no channeling. No.
Well, what does a channel do? That's kind of
I'm not
very
sure.
related to that. It's a very strange term. It's not Christian. It's very associated actually with the occult, but
Exactly. Believe me, we
yeah.
don't do any channeling.
Well,
So I don't
why
know.
do they call
Maybe.
themselves a channel? What do they channel? A channel is just
Oh,
the
yeah. I
noun.
received
It's
the
a noun
exact
form of
phrase.
channeling. Like I'm a
Okay.
channeling is just the same word. But anyways, well, I
Yeah,
noticed.
I'll just say just on that comment there, if, of course, I'm not hearing it entirely in context, but you can, for example, you can be a channel for educating your children.
I've never heard it used in a religious context except
Oh,
related to
okay.
the occult. But anyways,
Yeah, but a channel is just a, and I'm staying away from the occult because we want nothing to do with that. But a
yeah.
channel is just a vehicle or a means to pass information on. You
Where
could
do they get
say,
the information?
or from the scriptures.
Oh.
We totally believe 100% that the Bible is the Word of God,
Oh.
and we go
Well, then
100%
why do you need
by
a
what.
channel? I mean, I can read the Bible too. It's just anyways, but what I wanted to ask about was I watched a couple of these like programs and on one of them they said they're not inspired or
Hmm.
and they're imperfect.
Right.
Yeah,
Only the
so
Bible inspired.
yeah, although they seem to and then in another place in this program, they said that their information and their interpretations come from Jehovah to Jesus to them. So that's claiming very much inspiration. What else would you call that? Like I don't get any info from Jesus, do you? It's like Jehovah to
Nope.
Jesus to
No.
you. So that is an
No. But
inspiration claim without using the word
no. No.
inspired.
No. It isn't. They
Oh, it's
absolutely are not
not.
inspired.
What did they
They're
mean by
not.
from Jehovah to Jesus to them? How do they hear? Like, how do
Well,
they?
of course, I'm not knowing the context of what
Oh,
you heard,
okay.
but
Oh, it's very
but the,
clear. It was a German guy. I forgot his name, but
yeah.
anyways,
But
with
trust
them,
me, they're not inspired. They don't claim to be
mm,
inspired. I guarantee that. So don't worry about that.
yeah. But I guess you could say you're not inspired, but then use like a lot of different words that kind of mean the same thing. Like, the Watchtower is edited by Jehovah. Like one of their leaders said that. Now that wasn't recent, but he's a very important leader who wrote a lot of their books. He said Jehovah is the editor of the Watchtower, which is kind of funny. But anyways, what I wanted to ask about was that since they're imperfect men, like I noticed that the people, at least the ones I know, they treat them like they're like a prophet or something. Like it's very different than a Sunday school teacher or pastor. We don't do that. Like if they said tomorrow something different, that we wouldn't all just say, "Oh, okay, now we all believe that." Like 8 million people, they have 8 million people like in their sway, so automatically. So I don't get the thing how you could not be inspired and yet everybody follows you like as though you are.
Now, I assure you, they're not inspired. They don't claim to be inspired. Now, can I ask your background?
Oh, well, I've just got a traditional Christian background, and then I wanted to ask about one more thing about
Are you Catholic?
No, no. I fellowship with other Christians at Calvary Chapel, but I'm not into like denominationalism. I like to focus on Christ. But anyways, I wanted to ask one more thing about imperfect men. Another thing I saw on that broadcast that I found like startling as just a traditional Christian, a follower of Jesus, is that he said that you really need to trust them. The 8 men, right? He said that Jehovah trusts them. I'm just wondering, like, kind of how he knows that. And it's not Christian. I mean, most Christians talk about really that we trust God. Like, would I say God trusts me, like, or my pastor? Like, no, we don't. I never heard anybody talk in those terms. And then second of all, it says here, this is a quote I found in the Watchtower. It says, "You may wisely decide against putting your trust in imperfect men and their fallible predictions and promises." That's right from the Watchtower. So he's saying they're imperfect, but you need to trust them. Jehovah trusts them. And then here it says, don't trust imperfect men. So just wondering how both could be true.
The reason for your call today?
To ask about imperfect men and inspired and who these men are.
Is that? Do you have an interest in studying with Jehovah's Witnesses or becoming one?
Oh my goodness, I would never join anything like that. I just wonder why you guys. How do you reconcile that?
So
they're always advertising in my community. So yes, I am concerned about it.
Your phone call today was really to question and challenge us.
Oh, absolutely. Do you have an explanation for that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're happy to talk with people, but if someone is going to just pick and choose quotes here and there out of context,
it's not out of context.
Discussion.
It's not.
I don't know the context.
I can give you the reference. I can give you the reference. You can look it up.
No, I don't see any sincerity in those questions.
You just use ad hominem. You're just deflecting because you can't think of anything right offhand how to answer that. So you're calling me names.
Well, obviously your motives.
Ooh, do you read
are
hearts?
Not genuine. No, but I read questions.
Oh, you do. That's amazing.
Well, is there anything else you want to discuss?
Oh, no. Did you see that program on Saturday night in Canada? It's on YouTube. You can watch it. Did you hear about it?
So really, this is more than just challenging questions.
Well, you asked me if there was anything else I wanted to ask about.
You're trying to attack our faith.
Oh, no. The Watchtower would never attack anybody else's faith, would they? Their magazine is filled with that, calling other people satanic
you're not answering my question.
Babylon the Great. I don't think you have any position to even talk about that, you know?
Yeah, I can see that it's
a big part of the history of the Watchtower. Anyways, the program
is really going nowhere.
The program was on...
I would recommend...
You're not interested in a whole program they did on Jehovah's Witnesses in Canada?
I am not interested.
You should be, because it's a very popular program. You should know what's going on.
Well, I'll tell you what.
What?
I need to get back and listen to my meeting. So please excuse me.
Thanks for talking.
Bye.
God bless.